In this segment of our show, we have a call-in session with Executive Director Chandra Kumar. And if you have questions for Chandra, the number is written on the screen, and the number is 703-663-3333. So if you have questions for Chandra, please call in. Tell us what you have to tell us this morning. What news is happening?
So lots of great things. It's the end of the year, so we're going through and working on, as a management team, we're doing our reviews for our salaried employees, because at the end of the year we do reviews. Our hourly employees get it as on their anniversary dates.
Okay.
So a lot of back of the house things getting taken care of. The executive team will be off campus on the 13th and 14th. We're going to be doing our strategic meeting just locally here in Springfield, talking about 2019, what our initiatives are, reviewing
planning
those,
for the next
right,
year.
and really just sitting down and making sure we get those commitments, in black and white. What are our areas that we want to focus on? We are going to be on Wednesday talking to the staff about the employee engagement survey results, because we've given them out to the managers, but we also always do a town hall meeting.
Now, what is the employee engagement survey?
So the employee engagement survey, some companies call it the employee satisfaction survey, but with Erickson, we believe in engagement as a two-way street. So there's a part that we can try and make you happy, but it really takes both individuals, the company and the person that's working, to really work together to make sure that we're happy. And that we have good days at work. We're not going to be happy every day that you're at work, and there's going to be challenges, but making sure that most of those days are good days. And so that's what we strive to do.
So this is similar to the resident survey, but
Yes.
this is for the employees.
Exactly. So we had about close to 700 of the employees respond to it.
How many total employees do we have here at Green Spring?
So we have a part-time, full-time, and as needed, close to about 10, well, it's 1,050-ish. So sometimes I say 1,100, it's easier because it ebbs and flows based on when we're hiring and when we have some seasonal changes. For example, when the students go back to school, then it'll dip a little bit.
So we have
probably
a part-time, we have a full-time cadre.
Yes.
And we have some that are part-time.
Part-time.
And then we have some that are as needed.
Right, they're called PRN or as needed. PRN comes from the kind of a clinical.
But the total is a little over 1,000.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
It's a little bit over 1,000. And so the people that fill it out, the students didn't fill out, but the rest of the team, did do the fill those out. And then all of those, specific questions get tabulated, and then we as an enterprise, meaning all of Erickson communities, kind of stack up. Really happy to say that if you looked at the tiers, we've done okay in employee engagement, but this year we've done really well out of the larger communities that are already built out, like Briarwood and Oak Crest, and all of the ones that are our size or a little bit larger. We were number one in overall employee engagement, which is really great, because I kind of talk about happy employees make for happy residents and customers, and it's really this past 2 years has been to get the team stabilized, to get the management team stabilized. That includes supervisors, and that then we can support the entire Green Spring team.
And of course, I'm sure that the survey tells us if there are any places where we do need to do a little work.
Absolutely. So it gets into really very, very minute detail on what we do, what we call a stoplight system. So any managers or supervisors that have 6 or more employees, it gets down to be that granular.
Wow.
Which is great, because
That's
we can
good.
look at it and say, okay, so this supervisor's really, has good engagement. So what are they doing well, and how do we leverage those best practices? And then if there's some areas where we've got some supervisors that their areas are not doing well and their employees are not as happy, how do we hone in on them, and we put an action plan together and figure out how do we remedy
And
those
helps to
situations.
identify with a workforce this large. And it helps to identify some places you might not otherwise know about.
Right, and we, we've, through the year, it's not that we just wait for this one piece. We do focus groups. We do conversations. If there's some sort of a buzz, we like to, hone in and see what's the buzz about, what's going on, because we want to make sure that, that the employees are happy and that they're engaged. It really is a two-way street, so we want to make sure we're able to rectify if there's a situation that's not going well. So, as you can imagine, as we've got 2,000 residents with 2,000 viewpoints, it's no different with employees.
Of course.
And this is really important because this is a family. I mean, we strive to create that atmosphere and make people comfortable that this is a family.
And I could see that it could be little things that you might not be aware of.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And when you're running a 24-hour operation 7 days a week, we don't see all of our employees on a regular basis, and so you want to have those touch points.
Right.
So that's why we do town hall meetings once a month. We do 2 per shift. So we get the night shift, the evening shift, and the day shift we cover. And they don't all get to attend. So we also then have communication, a weekly communication. We have a newsletter, employee newsletter that goes out.
That's interesting. These are the kinds of things that we as residents don't know are happening.
So there's a lot of things that go on. Each department has its own department meetings. But we try and keep as much communication as possible because some people like email and some people don't. Mm-hmm. Some people like word of mouth. So there's lots of ways to communicate. And sometimes we hear, just like with the residents, people will say, well, I didn't hear that. And you know that you've covered 4 different avenues or venues of trying to get information out. It happens with the employees sometimes
But
too.
that's good. They have lots of ways
So
they have opportunities both to receive information and to give feedback.
Yes, absolutely.
Terrific.
So it's been great. We also have starting on the 17th, which is next Monday, our new director of nursing. Her name is Sherry Eubanks, and she is coming to us from the Villages of Rockville. She was the health director of health services there.
This is director of nursing for independent living or Garden Ridge?
Actually for Garden Ridge. So we only have a director of nursing in Garden Ridge, and our director of nursing there was promoted to a corporate position at Erickson. So it's been hard trying to find the right fit.
Of course.
So I think we've landed on the right person this time. So because it is a big job.
A major job.
Yeah, close to 280 plus residents and many more staff. It's a lot of complexity to that job. And then also in the Cubbies, everyone should have received.
That's just what I had here.
Yes, that Tricia Hawkins is back with us.
Now, I don't know her, but I've heard people say, "Oh, Tricia is back." So
right.
This is a person who's been here before?
She has. She's been here for many, many years in a couple of roles. She started out in resident life as the administrator over home support, which is our private duty agency, and certified, which is our Medicare and insurance funded, outpatient. We do outpatient rehab, nursing management. And then she went on to become, one of our wellness nurses in Garden Ridge. So she's had experience both in independent living and in Garden Ridge. And I have to tell you, I got an email last night from one of the employees that works in Garden Ridge, because we send it out email to all the employees saying, thank you so much for bringing her back. We love her. She's fabulous.
So she's going to be our new resident life director.
Yes. So
replacing Donna Epps, who moved on to be director of Garden Ridge.
Yes.
And Karen Hall was interim
Yes.
resident life director, and she's going to be assistant administrator of Garden Ridge.
Yes, so she's with Donna there. Karen has finished her AIT, which is the administrator in training through Erickson, and will be sitting for the exams, and so she will become a licensed administrator.
Terrific.
Right,
We have some wonderfully qualified people.
Yes, I'm so excited because we also had Hope Nevins, who started as the assistant administrator, and Hope comes to us with a rehab background, therapist. She's a therapist by profession, and has been a nursing home administrator outside of Erickson at another community, and wanted to come to the CCRC, and she just came highly recommended from somebody that worked at Oakcrest. So that's how we got to get her to come to us, and it's been a really nice experience to get so many strong people. You look at the bus and you see who's the right people on the right seats
Yes.
You know, not just getting people on the bus, but they're in the right seats. And so I'm really excited.
I think
for
we're attracting the
2019.
right people. I think that
Yes.
says a lot for our organization,
Yes,
that we
it
are
really
attracting
does.
these folks.
It really does.
That's
It's,
terrific. Let's remind our listeners that this is a call-in show. If you have questions for Chandra, 703-663-3333.
And then on the 17th, we have our coffee with the exec. So we'll get to
That's
introduce.
next Monday.
Yes, next Monday. So we'll get to introduce some of our new faces, so people
Good.
know who they are if they see them in the hallways.
Good.
You know, it's interesting when you go to hire people. They may have the right skill sets, but they may not have the same values that we work with. And so to find someone that has, you know, the skill sets, to technical skill sets to do the job, but also has, you know, really our value system, we call it the Erickson way,
Right.
is not easy. But when you do find them, it's just so magical. So I'm excited about
Good.
2019. A lot to do with all the repositionings and the life cycles, and just really looking at how do we enhance the skill sets of our team.
A lot of good things
A lot
coming
of good
up.
things coming up.
Yes.
But now we've got the manpower to get
Right.
it done. So I'm really happy.
And with
about
your
that.
your two new assistant executive directors.
Yes, absolutely, and they have really hit the ground running. I mean, we've got them on different projects, and we've really split up their responsibilities. So
You're keeping them busy.
keeping them busy, and it also helps them to learn to prepare to be an executive director. Also,
We
you
don't
know-
want them to learn too quickly because we don't want them to go
I
away.
know that is a good point. You know, when you get someone that's as strong as both of them are very strong, you know, we sort of are like, oh, okay, so their learning curve is very short. But the good thing is that there's quite a few associate executive directors in the pipeline, and I don't think a lot of us are going anywhere as
We hope
executive
not.
directors.
No, we don't want that to happen either.
So it's been a really great, I have to tell you, past couple of months.
Good.
New additions, and I look forward to 2019,
Good.
kind of what's going on. So
One thing that I saw that speaking of things that showed up on our cubbies, there was a paper that came out inviting us to register for
Yes.
a new telephone
the Swift
alert system.
Yes, the Swift 911.
Swift 911. Do you want to explain what that is?
So it's you can opt into that system if you follow the instructions on that sheet. It tells you where to opt in. It's very similar to the alert systems that you get from the county, or you know, I think the federal government.
And this is for your
has
cell
it.
phone.
This is for your cell phone. So it's only for emergency purposes. If we were having some sort of an emergent situation in the community and we wanted to, you can see the cubbies take time to get to. The phone calls take time. You have to be in your apartment, and it takes time to go all the way around the campus. This one is an instant
This is a
messaging.
message.
Yes, that will tell you what the emergency is.
So it's in addition to the robocall, but the
Yes.
robocall doesn't hit everybody all at the same time.
Exactly.
But this is a message system which would hit everybody all at
Yes,
the same
exactly.
time. So this is in addition to everything else.
Uh-huh.
It's something that you can register for, and it will even, I have an old-fashioned flip phone.
It'll work
It'll
on
even work on that.
It'll work on that, yes.
And you are able to register for it in that.
Yes.
So I encourage people to sign up for it. It's very easy to do. And it's just a quick sign up, and it will send you a message in case of an emergency.
Exactly. So, you know, it's hard because society's changing so much, and there's so many of these incidents that happen. And so the company felt, how do we get information out fast?
It's just one more way.
It's just one more way.
One more way.
So we'll talk a little bit more about this at the coffee with the executive team. So we'll continue to talk about it and encourage. So it's gone to the staff also, and we're encouraging the
Good.
staff to sign up. So, you know, God forbid there's something that happens and we need to send out.
We hope we don't need it.
Right, exactly. So, and that was the purpose of it. So it won't be for, things like, the menu's changed.
Right.
Or something. This is really for a true emergency that we need to let you know immediately
Right.
that something has happened. And so it's very limited to that. So it won't be for general broadcasts of information.
Right.
The other avenues that we use, will continue to use those.
Good.
So
We'll look forward to learning more about
yes,
it. And I encourage
really-
people to try it. If I can do it on my flip phone,
Right.
pretty much anybody can.
And we'll continue to put out information. Sometimes things get lost in the cubbies, or we put it in the Villager also, so there's that ability so people can use it and just keep reinforcing the need to go ahead and join. And if you don't like it, you can opt out of it.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's very easy.
Sounds good. Thank you for the information, and thank you